In the year 2008, I had a vision. In the vision, I saw a few men working in a construction site. They were constructing a building. I knew they were building a church. There was not much machinery involved. The workers were using simple tools, some laying bricks with bare hands. But while they were working, the enemies attacked them by firing fiery arrows unto them. Obviously, they were having a hard time. Some of them were hit. Their bodies were wounded, scratched, and seared by the fiery arrows. I then asked the Lord, why were there so few workers? And about the church at large, what were they doing? Shouldn't they come to help them? The Lord showed me a white building, which was a symbol of the church at large. But the church was bound by the thick, smoky, black chain. The vision stopped. After a few days, the vision continued. I saw myself being recruited to work with those workers who were being attacked. I did not know what exactly it meant at the time. It was only after a few years that I realized it was a calling to build the remnant church. When the time came for us to register the church with the government, we needed to come up with a name for our church. At first, we called ourselves the Life Church because the word life is Joey. However, the word Life Church was already used by other churches in Singapore, and when they registered our church with a different name. We wanted the word life to be retained, but we also wanted a name that represented the heavenly glories or the rewards that we would receive. The words River of Life immediately came to mind, but it was already being used. As I prayed, the next name that came to mind was the Tree of Life. I discussed it with Dawn and we both loved that name. It sounded like a church in the Garden of Eden. However, a few days later, we came to know that there was already a church in Singapore called the Tree of Life Church. One night after this, I spread out the Bible before the Lord, asking Him to show us the name to use for our church. I turned to Revelation 2 verse 7 and saw the words Tree of Life. I asked the Lord, is there only the Tree of Life and the River of Life in the book of Revelation? And the Lord asked me to look further down in Revelation 2. I followed the inspiration and came upon the words Crown of Life in verse 10. And then I remembered saying, Oh Lord, but this is the reward for the Mother's Church, the Church of Smyrna. And do you mean? There was no answer. It seemed like God was saying, it's all up to you. I hesitated and struggled with this new name for a while. For I knew that if a church were to bear that name, it must be one that's prepared to go through any kind of suffering for the Lord. And I was afraid of having to go through suffering for such glory. But it was also at this time that the 2008 vision came to mind. Finally, by the grace of God, we submitted to His will and settled for this name. And so the church was named Crown of Life Church.